Right guys, we have an update regarding the iPhone SE 3's release, and so let's delve into it. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so this tidbit's coming from the pretty credible TrendForce, and so no grain of salt is necessary for this report. But to be fair, the information they tell us is not really that groundbreaking. They basically say that Apple's sticking to their plans of releasing the iPhone SE 3 in the early months of 2022, which of course we already kinda know. Since of course, number one, we see iPhone SEs launch at the beginning of the year, that's always been the case, but also of course there's been a plethora of reports regarding the iPhone SE 3 launching around this time frame, so of course TrendForce repeating this does validate the other rumours. Now some of you guys might be wondering why we're even seeing the iPhone SE 3 this early, because of course in the past Apple's given us a new SE model every 4 years, and so of course if Apple were to stick to that, they should be releasing this SE 3 in 2024, not 2022. Well, that brings me on to TrendForce's next point. They say the SE 3 is going to help Apple establish a presence in the mid-range 5G market. And yeah, that's really the only reason we're getting a new SE in the first place, because of course 5G is a massive marketing pool right now, with many carriers using the buzzword to sell more models, and so of course an iPhone SE with the power of 5G is going to incentivize more carriers to sell those phones, and as a result Apple has a ton more cash. And yeah, TrendForce says that in 2022 alone we could see 25 to 30 million units for the iPhone SE 3, which is pretty impressive when of course you realize this is essentially an iPhone 6 with a glass back and also a newer chip and 5G. That's about it. It costs literal pennies to make, but Apple's gonna make a ton of cash and profit out of this, and that's pretty insane. And by the way, I do still hate the SE 3. This is gonna be a terrible device, but of course for those outside the tech bubble, they don't care about having high-end features. They just want a cheap iPhone that's easy to use, and the SE 3, to be fair, does check those boxes. So yes, while the form factor is going to be extremely outdated and the battery life with 5G is going to be terrible, I do still think this is going to be a massive seller for Apple, because clearly people do still like the older 4.7-inch form factor. I am hoping for a price cut though, because $399 for that design is kind of a bad deal, so I do think at least lowering it to $349 could make a massive difference, maybe even $299, just make it cheaper, because Apple should not be getting away charging $400 for that 4.7-inch form factor they've been selling for years now. And yes, I know some of you guys might be thinking that if anything we could see a price hike due to the 5G modem, but do remember that of course everything else on this phone is identical to the iPhone SE 2 and pretty much every 4.7-inch iPhone, and so surely Apple can eat up the cost of a 5G modem because the other components are super cheap to make. And by the way, as for other changes with the SE 3, it's going to be 5G and a new chip. That's it. There's no other change. Maybe a new color so it looks a little different from the current SE, but the specs are gonna be near identical. So yeah, those are the latest tidbits on the SE 3, but tell me your thoughts guys. Do you think we could see a price cut with the iPhone SE 3? Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video in the card above on details regarding the iPhone 14, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps.